Alright guys, in today's video we have more PlayStation news to go over and discuss, so if you could do me a big favor before we dive into it, hit the like button to help the video out and show your support, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and hit the bell notification icon as well, so you can be notified immediately anytime a new video goes live. But we're starting here with Jim Ryan apparently explaining how the PlayStation 5 game price plan works, and the reason why I think this is important to pay attention to and go over here is because he seems to allude to this idea that we are going to see more games produced by Sony Studios this generation in the vein of Uncharted Lost Legacy or Spider-Man Miles Morales than maybe we originally thought. He also seems to hint at this idea that Sony Studios are working on maybe a lot more behind the scenes than we might have thought. And I want to highlight this because I've been saying that for some time. I've been trying to let everybody know that Sony has a lot more going on behind the scenes that they are saving to reveal at a later time. And because of the success of the PlayStation 4 and because of the clear success of the PlayStation 5, they're going to be a little bit more lenient this time around in letting their studios kind of experiment and try different things. And that's a good thing for us because that's how we get things like Horizon Zero Dawn, as well as many other games that we've enjoyed this generation with the PlayStation 4. So it says here, a lot has been said about the PS5 and the higher price tags it brings to their video game lineup. Even though at the beginning of this generation, we came to find out that Sony Interactive Entertainment is considering a slight increase in title prices, SIE boss Jim Ryan explains how this works. Talking with Edge magazine in a Q&A that can be found in the most recent issue, Jim Ryan took the time to explain how the PS5 game price plan works. According to him, the $70 price tag is not a fixed price that all games will release under. Sony Interactive Entertainment sets the game prices after their development in order to make it as fair as possible to both the developers and the players. This justifies the publisher's view on the PS5 game price. So this is exactly what he had to say. No, we just set out to make the games as best we can. And once the games are made, then we will consider what the right price to sell them at is. We don't start out with a price in mind and then tailor the game to that price point. At launch, we do have a range of prices, and that will rightly and properly continue as we progress through the cycle. To further his point of view, Jim Ryan explains how the worldwide studios are deep in work with a variety of different projects right now. This includes upcoming video games for various genres. And so this is what else he had to say. I think you're actually going to see some interesting variations from worldwide studios over the course of this cycle. With the PS4, we saw Uncharted Lost Legacy, for example, published in the middle of the cycle, and that worked really well at that point in time. The model can work really well, and our studios are working on all sorts of things right now. So obviously, he's very careful not to reveal anything too specific with what he's saying here, but this is very important because it lets us know that we can in fact expect more Uncharted Lost Legacy and Spider-Man Miles Morales type games throughout the course of the generation. We can expect these studios in between their massive proper AAA titles to actually produce something on the side, something that's smaller in size, scale, and scope, but still has that AAA quality and polish to it in between these AAA releases. And I'm all for that. I have not played Uncharted Lost Legacy yet. A lot of people said I should, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, especially when it comes to the quality and, for the price point, it being $40 when it launched. And obviously we have Spider-Man Miles Morales, which a lot of people seem to be very happy with. A lot of people seem to be perfectly fine with the price tag of $40 or $50, not that full-blown $60 or $70. And I think there's actually a lot of people who were quite surprised at just how much content was actually there, packed into a title that's not a full-blown sequel, but it still justifies itself as a standalone game. So we're going to see more of that going into this generation. And the big question that people now have because of Jim Ryan's comments are, well, where does this leave God of War Ragnarok? Is God of War Ragnarok going to be the God of War version, basically, of Uncharted Lost Legacy or Spider-Man Miles Morales? And we don't know. What I will say, to give my best insight into this, I guess, It doesn't make sense to me for Sony to announce that about the game later on down the line. I think that if God of War Ragnarok was not the full-blown proper sequel to God of War 2018, and it is in fact a smaller scale title that will be sold at, say, $40 or $50, I think that's something Sony would want to get in front of and immediately let everybody know and immediately set the expectations, so that way it doesn't come back to kind of, kick them later on. But I could be wrong. We simply don't know. I believe that Ragnarok is the full-blown sequel to God of War 2018, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if it wasn't. And I would actually be totally okay with this idea that it will be something a little bit smaller, maybe not 25 to 30 hours to complete, but maybe say between 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 hours to complete, and it will have a cheaper price point. And the full-blown sequel to God of War 2018 will come a little bit later on. I could see that happening as well, but we're going to have to wait to find out. But either way, he is letting us know to expect more of this, and he's also saying that their studios are working on all sorts of things right now. And as I said, I don't think I'm reading into it too much when I say that he's probably subtly trying to let us know that they're experimenting with different types of games. They're giving their studios a little bit more freedom to try different things, to take more risks. And it could be on a smaller scale, it could be on a bigger scale, but either way, I think that, a lot of what he's saying here does make sense. It is worth noting as well that it's good to know that they're not setting the price point ahead of time. They're saying they're just letting the developers make the game, and of course Sony has to take the cost and time of development into account. And I'm sure that they have, extensive discussions with each studio, like, do you think this is a AAA game? Do you think this is a game that should be sold at $70? But again, Sony has to take into account the time that went into development as well as the budget. If a game, if a studio says, we don't necessarily know that this is a full-blown AAA game, but then Sony says, but we basically gave you the budget of a full-blown AAA game, then it's most likely going to be sold at the price of a full-blown AAA game. So anyway, we're going to move right along from that. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. We have some more good news in regards to PlayStation 5, as Sony's share prices have reached a record high thanks to PlayStation 5 sales. Sony's shares increased to hit a record high as reported by Bloomberg. It's all thanks to increased interest in gaming and the incredibly popular PlayStation 5 console that had a record launch. And so it goes on to say here that because of everything that has happened this year, it has actually worked in favor of the gaming industry. We've all seen this. The gaming industry has seen pretty much a boom because people are looking to deal with the boredom, or they're looking to just take their mind off of things. And a lot of people are either rediscovering or discovering gaming for the first time. And so this has really worked in Sony's favor. These circumstances led to Sony's shares increasing by 2.6%, currently sitting at 10,025 yen. It's only the second time the company has ever crossed the 10,000 yen mark since 2001, reaching the heights they achieved when the PlayStation 2 was dominating the console market. That is very important to pay attention to because, again, we have kind of compared the demand, the excitement, the potential that the PS5 has to what the PlayStation 2 was able to achieve. For those who are not aware, the PlayStation 2 is the best-selling home console of all time. And believe it or not, considering the demand there is for the PlayStation 5 and how that demand may continue to climb, especially as Sony starts to deliver these bigger, heavy-hitter games, I think the PlayStation 5 has the chance, I'm not saying it will, but I think it has the chance to give the PlayStation 2 a run for its money. And who knows, when it's all said and done, maybe the PlayStation 5 will be the new king of consoles, somehow managing to outsell the PS2. The gaming market is growing, the console market is growing, and if you need proof of that, all you have to do is look at this. So good news all around. I'm really happy to see this. This is also really good because this means that Sony is going to continue as a company to double down in gaming. They're going to double down on the PlayStation brand. And for those of us who like the PlayStation brand, who like what Sony's doing in the gaming space, this means that it's going to be at the top of their priorities. I mean, it already is at the top of their priority list, but it's going to have even more, it's going to get even more attention now. So I want to close out this video by just letting you guys know that Ghost of Tsushima Legends is actually adding new outfits based on Bloodborne, Horizon, God of War, and Shadow of the Colossus, available until January 15th. So They tweeted out that outfits inspired by iconic PlayStation characters come to Ghost of Tsushima Legends, unlock wearable homages to God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Shadow of the Colossus, and Bloodborne by completing a story or survival mission with each class before January 15th. And so these outfits do look really cool. I think this is a great collaboration, and I think out of all of these, believe it or not, the Shadow of the Colossus outfit looks the best. That actually looks pretty amazing, but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. I'm actually probably going to go back and play some Ghost of Tsushima on my PS5. I'll probably talk more about that during the podcast this weekend, let you know what it's like. And I also do want to let you know that Spider-Man Remastered for PS5 can apparently be purchased on its own now from the PlayStation Store. So this is something that just kind of came out of nowhere. If you didn't buy the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales and you didn't get access to Spider-Man Remastered, you can now buy it for $40 on the PlayStation Store. I have to say I'm a little bit surprised by the price point here. I thought it would be cheaper than that. I thought that when they decided they were going to sell it as a standalone, it would be $20, maybe $30, not $40. So it is what it is. For anybody who maybe wants this game standalone and doesn't want to get it packaged in with Spider-Man Miles Morales for whatever reason, there you go. You now have the ability to buy it separately for $40. But that is going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.